know of the law. Tune into STYLZ FM this and every Monday, Wednesday and 5:05 p.m. with your host, DG Angel, and get legal-minded. Remember, ignorance is no excuse of the law. So be in the know of the law. Sponsors of In the Know of the Law are Native Audio Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco. Good afternoon and welcome to another program of the In the Know of the Law on STYLZ FM, Jamaica's #1 radio station. I'm your host, Sergeant Delrose Green, DG Angel, and we are broadcasting to you live from the studios of STYLZ that is in Port Antonio. Don't touch a dial, because at the end of this show, you shall know the law.
You see me, a long time I tell them I'm afraid of nobody.
T-Wiz Records.
You see me, so right now, nobody can stop me from that. Me I go DJ about a thing what everybody afraid of. As far as me know, long as me remember. If you're born and you grow up in a Jamaica, you know what nobody call you not informer. But you see me, very proud informer. Me not do it for myself but for Jamaica. You see me, must be an informer. Me have to make the sacrifice and make the place safer. You see me, must be an informer. Me have a number for the sergeant, the inspector. You see me, must be an informer. And if me can't get this out, me call commissioner. Me an informer because me not support the crime. If you do the crime, do the time, pay the fine. Crime is smashing up this country and we acting like we're blind. We should have put a stop into this thing long time. So if me say a boy with a special or a 9, me go up on my phone, dial 119. Me give the operator all information. In face color clothes, in full complexion about the icing on the cake in GPS location. Me a stay up on the phone till all the police them reach. Me civic duty, me say yeah that me a preach. So me talking to the parents and the kids and up to teach. They chat on the criminals, them coming like leech. You know how long me want go night beach, but me can't touch the road got too much gunshot a beat. Every night in my house, to the girl me have to pay. But you see me, very proud informer. Me not do it for myself but for Jamaica. You see me, must be an informer. Me have to make the sacrifice and make the place safer. You see me, must be an informer. Me have a number for the sergeant, the inspector. You see me.
Good afternoon and welcome to another program of In the Know of the Law on STYLZ FM, Jamaica's #1 radio station. My name is Delrose Green. I am a sergeant of police and I'm attached to the beautiful parish of Portland. I want to say thanks to everyone that has joined this program every Monday and Wednesday at this time. And of course, it could not be possible without our kind sponsors, and that's Native Audio Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco, and Portland STYLZ. We also have MT Landscaping Services from Francis Lewis Boulevard, who is our kind sponsors. We want to thank the persons from St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, St. Anne, Mapen, Clarendon, Kingston and St. Andrew, parts of St. Catherine, the St. James, the entire Jamaica that have tuned in to this awesome radio station. Pleasant afternoon. To the persons in the United States of America, UK, and Canada, and all the small islands, a pleasant afternoon to you all. To the persons on my Facebook Live, good afternoon to you, Ricardo Porcius and Cassie and Paula Ebanks and everyone else. I am here this evening and I want to thank also my engineer Cassidy, who is here with me. We're going to be speaking about a number of things, but later in the show, I'll take on other things. I have with me today a very special young lady. Last week we spoke, and of course, if you want to be a contributor to this program, you can WhatsApp us at 876-453-1444. So you can always WhatsApp us, and we'll read your comments, whether you have a question or a comment, at 876-453-1444. Last week we spoke to Mr. Merrick DeMar about stress, about depression. And we spoke at length about a number of things that could cause depression. We spoke about the signs and symptoms of depression. And so he spoke to us as a counselor, no one that has ever been depressed before. And so, you know, somebody contacted us and after the program, and we spoke to this beautiful young lady at length about the whole idea of depression. And after speaking to her, I realized that she had a wealth of information. She being somebody that went through depression and found ways and means to deal with it. But I don't want to speak about what she went through and probably is still going through, because she's here to speak to her herself. Of course, she's connected to us via telephone because she's not in Jamaica. Good evening, Miss Terry Chung.
Good evening.
I'm going to ask you to speak a little loudish that everybody can hear you. Are you hearing us properly?
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Okay, you sound like a little girl. Terrian, yeah, your name is Terrian Chung, right?
Chung Green.
Right, so you're Terrian Chung Green.
Yeah.
I wanted you to tell the world, you know what I'm saying? And ironically, Terrian Chung is my sister-in-law. It's my brother's beautiful wife. I have one brother, Alston Green. For the persons who know him, they call him Ratbat. But that's his wife, Mrs. Terrian Chung Green. Terrian, tell us a little about yourself. Are you a Jamaican?
Well, not technically. My parents are Jamaican, but I was born in the States. So I'm American, but of Jamaican parentage.
And Jamaican husband?
Yes.
All right. I know you're very passionate, and the listeners are actually writing in. Good evening, DJ. I'm here. You 3 days now, Ochi. I miss you all. Shannon from Ochi. Hi, Shannon. Thank you very much. And Kevoy Chambers from Sunny Hill, St. Thomas. Good evening. My teacher here tuning in another time to your show. Thank you very much. Curly in Overcomers Edwards on Facebook. Pleasant afternoon to everyone on Facebook. The topic of depression. Terrian, is very dear to you. Tell us about depression and what you know about it.
Well, I have been suffering with depression since I was a child.
Okay.
I didn't know that until I was older. I studied psychology in school, and while doing my studies, I things within my own self and my own life. Like, I reflected on it. So that's how I learned that, okay, I do have a problem. It's not just every day, just life, get over it.
What you said you suffered depression since you were a child. What are the signs that you saw because at that time you probably would not have known that it was depression. What were you going through really that now you can identify and say that was depression?
Well, the symptoms are that you could be in the biggest of crowd. I would be around my family, around friends. Everyone's having a great time, and you're doing your best to put on a happy face, but you're just not feeling it within yourself. And you don't know why. It's not something that you don't want to feel that way. You want to be enjoying yourself, but it's just something inside that you're not feeling that happiness, and you don't know why.
And you were from a happy home.
I mean, for the most part, yes. I'm going to say yes, but I mean, as any family, we had issues. There was a lot of arguing and things going on, and things that you feel, most adults, I mean, even me becoming an adult and having my own child, I tried to be more cognizant of these things, knowing where I'm coming from. But most adults, you don't think that certain things are affecting a child because they're just a child, but they are. Children, they're still feeling, they're still thinking things, and it's even worse when they don't know, they don't have the full knowledge. So it's actually worse for them. It may be a simple little argument to you or something that's normal in your life, but it's not okay with them, and they don't know enough to even verbalize that. So it was a lot of up and down, very hectic life, and as a child, and all of those things did affect me, but unknowingly, until I got to a much older age. I realized that I needed to, that something just isn't right. Like, I need to get help was actually just this past year, because I've been living all of this time just thinking it's just life. You got to deal with it. You have to figure it out, but actually, being married and having that person that's there with you every day in and out. I mean, I have a great companionship, and I realized it was affecting my marriage. So that was like my breaking point. Like, I really had almost had a breakdown. Like, I really went low, and it was scary. It was scary for me. It was scary for my husband. And that's when I said, no, I really have to seek help. So that's when I did that. And I'm 43 right now. So this just happened 2 years ago. So all of, that time I've been living with this and not knowing what it is, how to identify, or how to make myself better. So it suffered, relationships, work. It affects everything that you don't even know. You just don't realize. So luckily, I did seek help. So 2 years ago, I went through a year of therapy, and I learned, one, I was able to identify what is going on, which I could never do before. I'm able to verbalize when I am having certain feelings. I could tell my husband, look, I'm having this feeling today, or, this is what I'm going through. So I'm able to actually speak about it now. I couldn't do that before. And I've learned ways, what they call coping skills. So you learn things that you can utilize to get you out of that funk and not stay there in it.
Terrian, you have passed that stage. You're now 43. You have recognized and you have gone on to get help. For the person, this child, this teenager, this young mother who is out there, that is going through similar things that you went through, and is not recognizing that this is indeed depression. Now that you have come out and you have realized that back then it was depression, what are the different signs that persons can look for to say, well, what I'm feeling is not really the norm. It is indeed depression. What can one look for as a young person to know that I am really going through depression?
Well, there's so many different factors, but for me, one of the things was just being able to get up and get out of bed. There's no reason. You're not tired. You know that you've rested, but it's like your mind, you're just not able to get up and get started for the day. Something is wrong. Also, being emotional, like something that it seems like it should be just insignificant, but for you it seems like it's a big thing, like you're emotional about it, more emotional than you probably would have been if you weren't so in your feelings. So if you feel that you're reacting to things that other people may seem like, why are you, why is it so, you're taking it so much, so personal, so much feeling in this little moment, that's another sign. You could actually have physical factors. I suffer from migraines.
Okay.
And when I'm stressed, when I'm feeling depressed, I could have migraines. It can go on for days, a month, nonstop. So you have physical factors. You could feel aches and pains in your body and things like that. That if you haven't been exerting yourself, but you're feeling these feelings, it can be a sign. And like I said, being, around people, but you're just within yourself. You're not feeling that happiness. You know, people are laughing and joking, but you're just not feeling it. You don't want to be around people. You don't want to talk to anyone. You just feel like you just want to sit and just do nothing. You know, you're just sitting there. Those are all signs of depression, or can be, because they can be other things too.
You spoke to me, and you said to me that back then your family didn't recognize it as depression. Tell me a little about that. The fact that you now look back and realize that, hey, as a teenager, I was in fact depressed, but the persons around you weren't aware of depression, and so they didn't deal with it of such. How difficult did that make it for you that they didn't take it as depression and just probably take it as, hey, she's just probably just acting up?
Well, I think, as I said, I have my family is Jamaican, so I was raised in a Jamaican household, although I wasn't in Jamaica. And they don't really, you don't talk about like, oh, you need a therapist. Like, that's something that's taboo. If you need a therapist, you're crazy. You're like psycho, something's wrong with you. So you don't say those words, because you can't say, well, you're crazy, you know? But you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. There's no you're not crazy. You don't need to be in a mental hospital. You don't need those things. A therapist is just someone that is an outside person. It's a person that does not know you, your family, anything. So they're able to listen to you and look at things from a unbiased perspective and help you to see another side of what you're feeling. They help you to turn around that feeling. If you're feeling like, well, nobody likes me, just an example. Oh, I feel terrible, nobody likes me. A lot of children go through that. How many kids? There's a lot of kids that have these feelings, that are being bullied in school and going through all sorts of things, and they're depressed. And they're feeling these feelings, and they can't talk about it because, it's like they think, saying that something's wrong is just completely, you're crazy, and that's not true. So I couldn't go to anyone and say, well, look, I'm feeling these feelings. It's like, oh, whatever, you're being dramatic. Oh, you're all right. Nothing's wrong with you. What do you have to bother you? You have everything. These are the things that I would get when I was younger. It's like you suck it up and you move on. Like, what are you talking about? You don't even know about life yet. Like, these types of reactions.
Yes.
When I was really not good. I'll be honest with you, there are several, from my teenage years and young adults, like up to when I had my son at 21, I would wake up every day and I would pray like, this is the day I'm going to die and just be done with life, because I just felt like I couldn't deal with life.
Wow.
I felt like it was so much. And I couldn't say that to my family.
No.
They probably would have locked me up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they would have done. I have no idea.
Right.
But it just wasn't something that you could really tell them. I don't think they would know how to even react to that, you know? And up to when I had my son, I said, okay, I stopped having those. I said I stopped having those thoughts, because now I said I have a reason to be here. I have to be here for him, So that was a kind of a moment there, just within myself, and without getting, actual help from any outside person. But I changed my way of thinking, because I knew, well, now I'm living for him. Now I need to be here to get him through, his years of life to a certain point. You understand? So it's very difficult. It's not something that.
What was it like, Terrian, having going through depression, and on top of that, getting pregnant? Because I know that pregnancy have its own different, emotional roller coaster to deal with. How difficult was that, being somebody that have struggled with depression from you as a child, going into 21, getting pregnant, still not having anybody to accept that you are going through depression? You yourself didn't know what it was. How difficult was that?
It was, I had what they call postpartum depression, which can happen to anybody.
Yes.
But for me, it was even worse, I think, because I depressed state of mind. So I did have postpartum depression. So after I had my son, my mom had to really, it was really because of my mom got me out of it. She had to come into my room, open up the blinds, get me up, tell me to go take a shower, make me get up and say, hey, you need to take care of this child. Like, what are you doing right now? And so she did it with the best intentions.
Yes.
Although it may have come across a little rough at the time,
yes.
but it was what I needed.
She had to do what she had to do.
Because of her, she got...
Cassidy? Are you still there, Terrian?
I was just there.
Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, what was that?
No, I just lost you a little bit. So you're saying that your mother being a supportive person actually helped you, although at the time you wouldn't have, welcome what she was doing, but it really helped.
Yes. And so if I didn't have that, I don't know what really could have happened, but luckily she was there. And, she got me out of it. And so I just did my best. Each day I tried to be positive. It took a lot of work. Like, at first, like when I went back out to work and I would come in and it's like my son would want to, be around me and stuff. And I would kind of shrug him off. And my grandma, at the time he spent a lot of time with my grandmother. And my grandma said to me, I know it's hard and you're coming from work, but, he's a little baby. He needs love. He needs attention. He needs, And when she said that to me, it brought it to my attention that I was doing that because I didn't even know that I was doing this.
Yes.
It's like, And so luckily she brought it to my attention and I said, okay, so I made, a very strong decision within myself to make that change. So even when I'm not feeling it, I would still come in and, hi, baby, how are you? How was your day? And things like that. And so I made a big effort to try to put my best foot forward for him throughout the times of him growing. As he got older, it actually got harder for me to do that. And, around his teenage years, I feel like I should have been there more for him than I was, but I was so overwhelmed because I have been pushing things down and trying to put it in the back long to make sure he had a good childhood that it just kind of got to the point where I was full. I couldn't take anymore. And so I think in the end part, he didn't get as much as he could have gotten because I was struggling so much. I
have some listeners, Terran, that is actually writing in. They say, good evening, Lady Neve. Say, good evening, DG, and your guest, Mrs. Green. And, of course, Stacy from Erie Castle. Say, good evening, DG, and in class from Erie Castle. There are persons, Curly and Edwards say, sometimes you just want to be by yourself, locked away. I suffered depression for a while. Another person say, Delia Skyers said, depression is real. You will be suffering from it and don't even realize. What is even worse is that times you can't trust people to tell what is really happening, and then it costs a fortune in some cases to get help. And so she's actually confirming what you said, because when you were smaller, there wasn't anybody that you could relate to say, well, you didn't know it was depression. You just felt like it was the norm. But what do you discover, Terrence, since you're an adult? Is it easy to speak to persons, to confide in them, to say, listen, I'm feeling depressed, and, outpour, your feelings to persons? Is it easy for you to do?
Well, now it is. I mean, before, no. I think now it's more, at least up here, it's more, people know about it. So you find more people that can identify with you, that are in the same position, that you're able to, you know, speak to about, and people are not as judgy, or, you know, I mean, it's changed. So up here, it's easier now to talk about it. But before, and like I said, when I was younger, you just don't talk about it. You don't. There was nobody to talk about. Even, I mean, I had a best friend, and yes, I would you complain about what is happening, like, oh, this happened, or, you know, mom made me mad, or whatever. You talk about the situation, but you're still not really identifying the overall issue, you know, because we just didn't know. And it wasn't, so now I don't know about in Jamaica. I would hope that, you know, things are better where you can talk to somebody about it. But
you want me tell you? You want me tell you about Jamaica?
I mean, well, I'm hoping to come down there so I could be a person that people can talk to, because I know that it's needed, and I mean, definitely down there, I'm an advocate of women and children, and, you know, and just helping people. I just always wanted to do that, just help people. And
I'm going to...
God willing, I'll have the chance.
Oh, definitely. I'm going to be going on a short break, Terry, but when I return, and don't hang up your phone, I want to continue with you. I want you to share some of your experience now that you're in counseling, some of the things that you're being taught that can help you. But before I go, let me tell you a little about Jamaica. You want me to tell you a little about Jamaica? Jamaica is a nice place. You have been here a number of times. You're married to a real Jamaican man. But, Terran, in Jamaica, the reality is you have to be careful who you tell your business. I mean, it is so sad, and I'm going to pick up back on this when I return. But let me tell you something. If you're going through depression and you call somebody and tell them where you go through, by your hang up your phone, they call somebody else, and then call somebody else, and then call somebody else. And that will further depress you. But I'm going to pick up that point when I get back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been speaking to Mrs. Terrian Chung Green, and she's my beautiful sister-in-law. She is not a Jamaican by birth, but everything about her is a Jamaican. And her mother, her parents are Jamaicans, and she's married to a real Jamaican man. And of course, she have a Jamaican sister-in-law, and we're all a big family. But she have gone through depression. She's not ashamed to speak about what she have gone through. She's now getting help. She understands it more, and so she can, relate to persons. And so we want to speak further with her when we get back to find out, now that she's in therapy, what can she tell us how to get through it without us going into therapy. Because not enough money in Jamaica. So if we can get her to share some of she and get free for we, it will be awesome for us. Don't touch it down, all right? We'll be right back with you after these short messages. You by Braham's Texaco, 15 Arbor Street, Port Antonio. We remain open 24 hours every day for your convenience. The time is 5:30 p.m.
Me tired of you and this pop down jalapeno, you know. Watch there. We all run out of gas now.
But babes, me think the quarter tank could have carried from Kingston come up Port Antonio. Boss man, which part round here the nearest gas station there?
Yeah man, right at the road man. Braham's Texaco right at the there.
So bossy, me can get one cup of coffee, one hot dog, anything for eat round here?
Lady, you know hear me say? Braham's Texaco, everything up there.
Braham's Texaco service station and convenience store. Located at Arbor Street, Port Antonio, Long Bay, Portland, 24 Queen Street, Morant Bay, Gale St. Mary. Proud sponsor of In the Know of the Law.
Germany's Auto endorses social distancing throughout and even beyond COVID-19 with great and exciting discounts on all make vehicles for potential purchasers, first responders, including healthcare workers, your preferred package grabs the spotlight. We assist you in obtaining 100% financing at low interest rates plus 50% discount from your processing fee, in addition to another 45% discount of your insurance premium on all our line of vehicles. Condition applies. Japanese Auto, 52A West Street, Port Antonio, and White River Ocho Rios locations are waiting your call at 818-0466 and 822-6569.
We regret to inform our STYLZ listeners that due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there will be no Fan Fusion party outside. Now that we got that out the way, let's tell you the good news. We are having a Fan Fusion radio party Saturday, July 11th, live on STYLZ FM 96.1, 96.5, 96.7. Also online at www.stylzfm.com on the STYLZ FM app and TuneIn Radio.
Memories don't live like people do.
All your STYLZ FM DJs will be live in studio playing songs from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a neighbor to tell a stranger. Fan Fusion radio party is on. Make sure you mask up and floss up. This is quality entertainment you don't want to pass up. Live on STYLZ FM, Saturday, July 11th. The world listens.
Fan Fusion!
Mama, I'm here. How you feel, so?
Why me have a tea take the whole night last night?
You know going to dentist?
After me no know none.
I mean, you know dentist, you don't know about Portland Smells.
Then I wear that there.
Right in front of Army Lane at the plaza upstairs as you got Jacob's Law Firm office. Turn right, one nice dentist place up there.
Then I wear them do up there, so.
They do a lot of things, mama. Extraction, cleaning, examination, filling dentures, root canal, crowns, x-rays. And if you want braces, they do referrals too.
Now if you find up there right here, no one can chun too. Because the whole of in front teeth them are rotten out. Portland Smiles, 42 West Street, Port Antonio. Open Mondays to Fridays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call them at 876-603-9042 or 876-422-3333.
Welcome back to the second half of In the North the Law on STYLZ FM, Jamaica's #1 radio station. My name is Delrose Green. I am a sergeant of police. My friends call me Angel. And I've been speaking with Mrs. Terrian Chong Green, and she is someone that have been telling us about her years of being depressed as a child. She's now an adult. She's 43 years old. She understands what is depression. She is dealing with it. Have been dealing with it. I've been getting treatment, and I've been doing wonderful. Terrian, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
All right. Somebody say it's not Jamaican alone. You must be careful who you tell your business to. I'm sorry to say, trust no one. Only thing you can do is love everyone. Ricky from Toronto said that. Janine Mitchell. My sister Janine Mitchell said, good evening, DG and the guests. Janine said, tell her, very informative show, my sister Errol Jones say. Before I continue, I must say congratulations and thanks to Mr. Frederick Query, who served the Jamaica Constabulary Force for 33 years and is now going off on retirement, as also Inspector Pauline Wood, who have done 39 years in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Today is her 60th birthday, and today is her last day as a police officer. So Inspector Wood, God bless you. Thanks for service. Thanks very much for serving the people of Portland. And congratulations on your well-deserved retirement, and happy birthday to you, Auntie Woody. We love you, we'll miss you, but we'll still have you because you're not going back to St. Thomas. You remain with us here in Portland. Terrian, as I was saying when I left, you see, let me tell you, as Ricky in Toronto said, it's worldwide, but I don't live worldwide, so I have to be told by other persons that it's worldwide. Me to think of Jamaica one. When you're going through depression or anything you're going through, it is sad, it is disgusting that if you confide in someone, and let me just make a disclaimer here, we still have good people around that can keep you a secret. So I'm not broad whitewashing and saying everybody. But sad to say, for the most part, Terrian, if you have your problem here, you feel depressed, you go through some problems, and you call somebody and tell them, look, how close the person is. Each friend have a friend. And before you know it, and what I realized, Terrian, and let me just say Jamaica, because Jamaica me live. If they say The cow jump, if you tell him the cow jump over the moon, when them are telling friend and telling friend, so the cow jump over the moon and the map. And then a friend tell him friend, so the cow jump over the moon, the map, and the spoon. And before you know it, they add on to your story. When it gets back to you, Terrian, it is even more depressing. I don't know if it's some America stay, but it's a Jamaica stay.
I mean, and what your one of your listeners said, it's true. It's not just Jamaica. It is everywhere. You do have to be careful. You know, not everyone they're not true and honest and will, actually are out to help you. So you do have to be careful overall.
Yes.
But one thing that I came to terms with was, the point is that I owned it. I said, you know what? Yes, I am depressed.
Yes.
And I am okay to tell the whole world that this is what I'm going through. Because if I can tell my story and it can help somebody else, then I'm okay with that. So I kind of got over the fact of, I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if you want to tell anybody this, that, and the other, because I know the truth. I know what I'm dealing with, and I know what I have to do every day.
Amen. Hello?
Yes.
The connection is, you hear me, Terrian? I don't know, your connection has gotten bad. Terrian,
You want me to?
no, I can speak and let me see if I can hear you again. Go ahead.
Okay, you can hear me now?
I can hear you now, beautiful. Trisha say, hi guys, good evening. Ricardo Portius said, God is the greatest person to take your problems to. And Janine Mitchell said, tell it to Jesus. So you were saying that you have told the world that you are depressed. You have been depressed. So therefore, if they tell anybody, it's coming like nothing to you.
Exactly.
Right.
I just stopped worrying about, because the thing is that for such a long time, you feel like, okay, if someone knows, you're going to be treated differently, they're going to talk about you, they're going to say stuff, but you can't get help until you own it. You have to say, yes, this is it. This is who I am. This is what I'm going through. This is what I'm dealing with. So first you have to say, you have to tell yourself and realize for yourself that this is what is happening. And then you can make changes.
Yes.
And unfortunately, people have bad mind people. Somebody's always going to say something. Someone's always going to be there to, say something negative. But you have to just close those people off. They're doing those things because they themselves are not happy. That's why they're doing it. So you just have to say, that's you, not me, and you have to try your best to just keep on what's best for you. So if you feel comfortable, if you get to that point where you can speak about it, great. But if you're not, that's okay too. You can do a journal. Get a book and write down what you're going through in that moment. Write all the stuff you want. You could cuss. You could do anything. You could put anything in your journal. It's your journal. So that will help to get out some of those emotions, some of those feelings that you're going through. So doing a journal is a great way. If you don't have someone to speak to about it.
And you talk about journal, and I want us to encourage our children, Tyrion, especially our boys, to speak out. And if they don't want to speak out, let them write. I just spoke about a journal. I want to just tell you quickly something that happened. When Antoine was going to Shebian, I thought he was this nice, happy child. I normally take home police work every evening. I have a big red book from courthouse. So when I reach home, being a single person, and I get my shower, look about dinner, whatever, I sit in my room and write up my court sheet and update my computer until I want to sleep while I'm watching TV. And a teacher at Shebian, Miss Hamilton, found Antoine a little journal, a little book that he wrote in. And you know what Antoine wrote in it, Tyrion? He said he wish he could be a big red book.
Oh, gosh.
Because when I go home in the evenings and Antoine comes to the door and say, Mommy, I don't want to tell her. I said, what? Because I don't want to be disturbed. I just want to work on my book. I just want to get my things in place to go back to work tomorrow morning. So I was shutting out my child and putting him into depression. And he sat in his room.
He didn't know.
And I didn't know. And he said he wished that he was a big red book. So when Miss Hamilton said to me, what Antoine mean? When he said he wished it was a big red book, he literally meant the big red book was always in my bed.
Exactly.
And so he wanted to be in my bed. Listen, you know, that book don't come out of my... If that book go home with me, don't come out of my vehicle. I don't care back in the house. Because this is a little child who is in his way, got a journal and was writing about what was bothering him. I said, my God.
But luckily he said something, or you would never know. A lot of people, they never say anything. So a lot of kids don't say anything. You don't even know that that's what they're going through. They just are dealing with it within themselves, and you don't even know.
Janine Mitchell say, have to be mindful that not everybody that offers an ear or a hand is doing so for a genuine place. So indeed, we have to be careful who we trust. Delia Skiles say, sad to say, even the pastors use your business in their sermons. Oh, dear God Almighty. Even the pastors use your business in your, so you confide in them on Sunday morning or Saturday morning, you hear it on the pulpit. Tara, now that you're going through...
That's terrible.
It is terrible. Now that you're going through and you're going through your the classes, what are the things that they taught you on how to deal with depression?
Well, so first, the journaling, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, just trying to identify something that does make you feel good about yourself. So whatever that may be, whether it is, if you like music and if you like, watching movies, whatever your little thing is, try to find something that's your happy moment.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't really have a hobby per se.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did do is a lot of times I am watching TV or watching movies or something. So I made sure that if my feeling was low, then I don't watch a movie that also is about heavy feelings. I'm not going to watch a movie about somebody going to jail or having issues. You choose a movie that's a happy movie. One of a fairy tale, like a love story or something to make you get in a more brighter mood then. So make sure that when you're feeling down, you don't do things that's going to keep you down. Try to find something that's going to take you out of it. So whatever it is your enjoyment. If it's going out or having a drink or listening to music, some people may be into art. They draw or paint or whatever your little thing is. So as soon as you're feeling that down feeling, then do what you like. Exercise, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. What you say makes a lot of sense, Terrian. I'm not sure if I was depressed. I must be honest. I found myself wanting to spend a lot of time by myself, which can be a sign of depression. I find myself, I love Facebook because I don't have a lot of friends per se, so I get the opportunity to while I'm by myself, actually spend time with the world, if you understand what I mean. And so I had my newfound hobby, Terrian, is actually spending time with my animals. I enjoy that. Cares not how I feel when I go down to that pig pen, wash out that pig pen, and I literally sit down and chat to them, You believe me?
Yes.
And I feel better.
That's okay. That's your thing, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good about yourself, and that's what you have to do. You have to find that thing. So if that's what it is, going and talking to your pigs, that's okay. At least you know that they're not going to answer you back, right?
I sound like you're laughing, Terrian. Well, I talk to him and I swear them answer me because when I bathe them in the mornings and them start, let me tell you how I know that. I relate to them. When I go down there in the morning, they don't make it nice because I know that it's not feeding time now. You're going to get sprayed with disinfectant, then you're going to get wash off, then your pen going to wash out, and all that time, they make no noise. You see, the minute I finish being them and wash out the pen, I can't stand my ears. It's pure noise. Like they say, okay, we were patient with you to let you wash out our pens and bathe us. Time to eat. And so I joke with them and I said to them, when they give me something to put on. And like when I'm talking, like for 30 seconds, they'll stop. Actually, the place is silent. Like they're saying, make we always say no. So I find different ways. To me, I am really enjoying them. So persons ought to find different ways of enjoying themselves. Saskia Sinclair, good evening. She said, hi, auntie. Ricardo Portia said, when people are depressed, it is good to have people around them to uplift them. That can be true also. But you don't, that you need people around you, but you don't need people around you to what is probably talking the wrong things, because they can also let you feel further depressed, is it?
Yes, that is correct. So you just have to make sure that if you do have people around, it's someone that you know that's going to uplift you. So I know some people, you'll have a certain friend that no matter how you're feeling, when you go around them, they make you laugh and they get you, you know, in a happy mood. There are people out there that do that. So those are the people that you should surround yourself with if you're having that feeling. You know, try not to stay locked away because that it does only make it worse. And you made a great point when you were talking about, you know, being with the pigs and knowing, okay, it's not feeding time, but you're going to do this. They know their little routine. It made me think of, you have to set boundaries. That is something else that I learned. I am a very giving person. I give all of me all the time, and it was like, it was too much. I didn't save anything for myself. And I learned how to set boundaries with my friends, with my family. You know, I'm not there for you 24/7 anymore. I have to take time out for me. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. I can't deal with this person today. You know, it's nothing personal. It's you. So you have to make sure you set those boundaries, because there are also friends and family that expect you to just be 100% all the time. Like you're not allowed to have a bad day. I mean, I had that experience. So I had to tell them, look, I'm having a bad day, and I know that it's okay for me to have this bad day. So you're going to have to just deal with that, you know, because I need my moment right now.
I am happy you said that. I think somebody was upset with me about 3 days ago because I'm always there on a beacon call to everyone. And so I called to check if somebody was all right. And immediately they started telling me about somebody that was having a problem and they want me to help them to solve it. And I said, no, I can't do that now. And they're like, how you mean? Because I'm always solving everybody's problem. And for about a month now, I decided that, listen, I am going to do me. There's sometimes I'm going to have to tell you that, listen, I can't do that now. And I mean it. And it has been helping me because I become overwhelmed. I help, if I go on my Facebook page, immediately my inbox is filled. And don't misunderstand me. I love to help people. But it becomes overwhelming. I can't find anywhere to relax.
Exactly.
And so I have to literally be... Go ahead, Terrian. Hello? I'm hearing you now. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying also with your kids, as you were saying, you do have to pay attention that you are giving, but at the same time, it's okay to let them know that, hey, mommy needs a moment, you know? Because a lot of times we don't do that. We don't let them understand that, but then we get mad at them and we're yelling at them and we're, you know, and it's just frustrating your head even more. And you're just feeling more and more, you know, just like overwhelmed, as you said. So also, I mean, it works with your children, your spouse, everybody. You have to set certain boundaries and make sure that you're doing, you know, the best health for you.
I have somebody, a Verly Carter from Colorado Springs is asking a question, Terran, and I think his 19-year-old son, probably like my 16-year-old, needs help. But before I read that, Annalisa Pilgrim say, beg you two of you pick them now so me can have that same feeling like you because you're one happy girl with your pigs. Not everything that works for me will work for you, as Terrian said. Terrian, somebody is saying, Terrian, somebody have a question for you. He says, I have a 19-year-old son going through depression. He plays video games all the time and does nothing else. What can I do so he can change?
So, well, with kids, I mean, it's hard, and because they may not be talking. Like, I have a son, he's just turned 21. He is also, suffers from depression. I just actually got him signed up to go to start therapy, but he's not a talker. So if you even ask a question, he doesn't come to you and say, hi, I'm feeling this way. Mom, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that. You can ask questions and sometimes you get one-word answers. So it's like you're not even getting enough information to help them because you don't know exactly what is going on. But the only thing you can do is what I have learned, instead of trying to find out what's wrong with you, I mean, for me, I've given him suggestions. If he's there alone in the room, I would say, Philip, what's going on? How are you doing? I've given him the idea. I've given him a book, and I said, here, write down your feelings. So I like to help him to help himself until finally I couldn't make him go to therapy. He's grown. But luckily he agreed to it now, and he is going to therapy. But I just made sure that I stayed in contact with him. I didn't make him stay alone, locked away in the room. I would, even though they're staying one way to talk, let them know that you're there, maybe even speak of things. If you know something they're going through, talk about you having a similar experience, how you dealt with it. And definitely try to get them, if they're not going to speak to you, to try to find someone that they may be able to confide in and, see if that can help. If he's a young man, a lot of times they may be into music. Maybe they write music. My son happens to be into music. So I told him, write songs. He write rap songs, write things, whatever he wants. That's his thing. That's what he's into. Write. Help and get out those feelings and get out those emotions and just let them know that you're there and that when they do want to speak, you're there. You're not going to judge them and, listen. When they do come, make sure you listen to what they're saying and you try not to be negative in your response to them.
And
let them know it's okay.
And as the listener is saying, he said that's him. He said his son really doesn't talk any at all. But I think Verily, as he's 19, you can't force him. But as Terrian say, you probably could suggest to him, and find a therapy that he could, can talk to him to find different ways, find a friendly way, and he's an adult now, he's a man. Offer to carry him out, just you and him, father and son, you say, probably you want to carry him bowling. He probably wants to go where game is also. So you probably could tap into what he wants to do to get to be a part of what he wants to do and see if you can work your way into being more than just a father, but a friend to him and see if you can help him. But I wish you all the best, Verly. And whatever it is, stick by him, all right? Terrian, I have...
Delrose, before we go on, I have Alston, when he came up here with Philip, what he did, they would go walking. He would just go out and they would just walk like around the block or whatever. And they would also go fishing. And at first, they did those things in silence. But after he did it with him for a time, he started to speak to him. He started to have conversation and started to open up with him. So, like you're saying, find something that maybe he has interest and do it with him. Eventually, hopefully he'll start opening up. It may be in silence at first, but eventually he may start opening up. I know that Philip did that with Alston. He would just go walking with him, and eventually they started talking. He started coming back telling me, we talked about this and we talked about that. I'm him more than me,
You know, I remember Antoine, when he was younger, he craved to spend time with his father. And his father really didn't pay him much attention, and that's the reality of life. And at some time, Antoine started to get depressed. And persons probably wonder why I'm so involved in Antoine's life, because I recognized Terrian, the depression coming on. And so what I started to do, I started to get involved with him more. I could never be his father, but I just decided that, listen, I'm going to be the best mother this little boy have. So I recognized it and I nipped it. And so even while he's playing games, he will sit for hours and play a game by himself. What I do, I go and strike up a conversation with him and say, you know, so what kind of game that now? He spends like 10 or 15 minutes explaining to me. I can see that because I am asking him about his game. He gets excited to explain it to me. Teran, half of the time, I hope he's not listening to the program right now. Half of the time when he don't explain, I don't have a clue what he said to me. But I sit there and I act excited too. And I act excited too. So he actually, you know, every now and then he will come and say, Mommy, look here, me get a new so-and-so. And me say, what? And I mean, so although he's still in his game, I don't force him and say, pull on the game and come over here and do this, because I want to be a part of what he's doing, but I don't want him to keep sinking in. So, you know, we have to find different ways and means. Terran, I am completely out of time, but what are your parting words to persons that are, you know, going through depression? We might not have a big therapist at Jamaica, and we might can't afford to pay them, but what are your parting words to persons going through depression, sis?
Well, number one, know that you're not alone. There is someone else out there that is going through what you're going through. So, yes, although we have to be careful who we reach out to, seek out, you know, people that can identify with you and what you're going through. Also, just, you know, don't give up. As much as you're feeling like you can't go, you can. You know, they say that God doesn't give us more than we can bear. So know that whatever it is, you can get through it. And, you know, there are people that are around you that love you. Find them and hold on to them. And just keep your head up. Make sure you think positive, move forward. Just think about moving forward in life, because it's still there, you know?
Terrian, congratulations on having gotten over years of depression. Congratulations in identifying that you were depressed and finding different ways and means of dealing with it. Thank you very much for telling us your story, for being open and candid with us, to let somebody out there know that there is indeed hope, and depression doesn't mean the end of one's life. I know that God has given you a wonderful husband. I see him combing your hair, washing your hair, blow drying your hair, rubbing your feet, cooking your food. I must tell you that any day, I tell my brother all the time, you know, any day named day you make your wife leave you, make her married to you. So make certain that she don't leave you. But thank you very, very, very much for telling your story, and we're looking forward to you coming to Jamaica to actually sit and talk to some persons and that can help them to move along.
I look forward to that too. Thank you for having me.
God bless you. We have been speaking to Mrs. Terrian Chung Green, and that's my sister-in-law, the wife of my brother Alston Green. She lives in Florida, but she's not a Jamaican, but she's of Jamaican parentage, and she went through years of depression from she was a child. She's now 43 years old. She have recognized it. She have gotten counseling. She's in therapy. She has also helped her son, who went through a moment of depression and probably still going through it, but she recognizes and knows. And so she's very passionate about it, because she knows the signs and know that it is not a death sentence to be depressed. There is help, and persons can get help and get out of it. I want to thank you very much, everyone that has tuned in this evening. Verly Carter, all the best with you and your son. God bless you, my brother. Thanks to everyone that have WhatsApp, to all my persons on my Facebook wall. Nicola Doyce and Fluffy Lawrence. Good evening, Fluffy Ross Lawrence. Pleasant evening to you, my sister. and to Alvarana Parker and everyone else. Too much to call by name. I want to thank you all for tuning in this evening to our very, very special program. Again, happy birthday to Inspector Pauline Wood, who is doing 39, who have done 39 years in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, and who departed the Jamaica Constabulary Force today, being her final day as a police officer. Inspector Wood, we love you always and forever, and we feel good to know that after retiring, we'll still have you because you will remain in the beautiful parish with us. All right? Nicola Doy say, awesome topic. Thank you very much. And Janine Mitchell say, awesome program. Thank you very much. I want to say thanks to our kind sponsors, Native Audio Stage and Lighting, Braham's Texaco, Portland Smiles, MT Landscaping Services, and I want to say special thanks to my engineer, Cassidy, who is always here with me. Of course, thanks to Mrs. Terry and Chung Green, all the way from Florida, who spent the last hour with me sharing her experience. God bless you all. Until next time, walk good, take care, and please be safe out there. COVID-19 still playing. Please be careful. Maintain your distance, your physical distancing, and please, for God's sake, be safe. Erica Donna Giddings, condolences to your husband, Pops passing away. And I saw the grave digging going on today. Saturday coming will be the funeral. I know it's a sad time for you and the boys, but God has been a tower of strength for you. Continue to trust him. Walk with everybody. Take care. God bless you. We gone. Bye-bye. Mama, I'm here. How you feel, so?
Why me have a tea take the whole night last night?
You not going to dentist?
After me no know.
I mean, you know dentist, you don't know about Portland Smiles.
Then I wear that there.
Right in front of Army Lane at the plaza upstairs as you got Jacob's Law Firm office. Turn right. One nice dentist place up there.
Then I wear them do up there, so.
They do a lot of things, mama. Extraction, cleaning, examination, filling dentures,